世界那么大，问题那么多，国际社会期待听到中国声音，看到中国方案。我真诚希望国际社会携起手来，秉持人类命运共同体的理念，把我们这个星球建设得更加和平，更加繁荣。
The Chinese dream, linked to so many other dreams.
We all have a dream, right? Whether it's an American dream or a China dream. That's universal, right?
China's influence, bringing smiles to so many faces. No matter how far you may go, China will always be with you.
祖国没有忘记我。
The Chinese are spreading their wings to reach every sky.
多少钱？35。
中国人。
It's November the 15th, 2012, a day that will go down in the annals of history. Xi Jinping is elected General Secretary of the Communist Party of China. Together, the party's new leaders appear on stage. As China stands in the international spotlight, people ask, what kind of world is China facing? It's a world that's undergoing rapid change. Peace and development remain the themes of the times. New science and technology are mushrooming. Trade and business, finance and cultural exchange are developing at an unprecedented rate. Increasingly, the world is becoming a global village. It's also a volatile world. The international system and order are undergoing major adjustments. Mankind is facing grave challenges in the form of obstacles in the way of peace and development and failings in global governance. All this makes it necessary for countries to act in union and work hand in hand. With a population of over 1.3 billion, China, the world's second largest economy, is undergoing momentous development, change and adjustment. It's at a key stage in the effort to achieve national rejuvenation, and it's becoming an important force for influencing the world and shaping the future. However, development in China also faces many difficulties. If it is to prevail over the challenges, China needs a more peaceful and stable international environment. What does China want from the world, and what can it contribute to the world? How will China handle its relations with other countries? What kind of world will it help build? To meet the challenges facing the world, visionary leadership is needed. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC held in November 2012, the party Central Committee, with Xi Jinping as the core, has been giving profound consideration to mankind's future and China's and the world's development. With a view to achieving the 2 centenary goals and realizing the Chinese dream of great national rejuvenation, the Central Committee has formulated a number of new concepts, new visions, and new strategies. In guiding China's diplomatic activities, it has ushered in a new era of China's major country diplomacy.
宇宙浩瀚，星汉灿烂，70多亿人共同生活在我们这个星球上，应该守望相助，同舟共济，共同发展。中国人民追寻实现中华民族伟大复兴的中国梦，也祝愿各国人民能够实现自己的梦想。
Xi Jinping has called for integrating the Chinese dream with the dreams of the world and for pursuing China's development while promoting common development with other countries. This is making the Chinese dream globally relevant. It's an aspiration that he has voiced in the world arena time after time.
各国应该共同推动建立以合作共赢为核心的新型国际关系。为了和平，中国将始终坚持走和平发展道路。中国方案是构建人类命运共同体，实现共赢共享。各方秉持共商、共建、共享原则，让“一带一路”建设更好地造福于各国人民。
Now, for the first time, China is standing at the center of the world stage. It has gained the ability and confidence to achieve the Chinese dream of the great rejuvenation of the nation. This new historical course charted by President Xi Jinping is the fundamental direction of Chinese diplomacy in the new era.
经过几十年的快速发展，中国当然已经是一个响当当的世界大国。那同时，我们又是一个发展中国家。那更重要的是我们还是一个坚持共产党领导的社会主义大国。习近平总书记强调的，中国必须有自己特色大国外交，要有鲜明的中国特色、中国风格和中国气派。
The Party Central Committee, with Xi Jinping as the core, has defined the strategic objectives and major missions for the country's foreign relations work in the new era. With confidence in being a major country under socialism with Chinese characteristics, it's drawn up a blueprint for building a community of shared future for mankind. It has also developed a comprehensive approach to fostering global partnerships. It has created a new environment for opening up, with the Belt and Road Initiative to the fore. It has demonstrated a resolve and determination to safeguard China's sovereignty, security and development interests, and has created new visions and practices for global governance. It has also provided convincing answers to the questions of what China's major country diplomacy is and how it should be pursued. Few presidential aircraft are kept as busy as this one. In the past 5 years, Chinese President Xi Jinping has flown for over 570,000 kilometers in the course of conducting 28 state visits. He's been to 5 continents, 56 countries, and several major international and regional organizations. Through his firm resolve, charisma, and intelligence, he's brought the world closer to China. Worldwide, there's now a better understanding of China as a major country. People have heard about its dream of national rejuvenation and its vision for promoting common development. Through his global travels, China's leader has made friends around the world. He's established partnerships with the major powers, with his country's neighbors, and with other developing countries. China is working actively to develop its relations with other major countries and to work with them in promoting world peace and development. With Russia, China is improving its overall strategic and cooperative partnership, and it's striving to ensure that the China-US relationship enjoys sustained, sound and steady development. With the EU, China is developing partnerships to promote peace, growth, reform and civilization, and is working with the BRICS countries to create another golden decade of development. China upholds the policy of amity, sincerity, mutual benefit and inclusiveness in developing relations with its neighbours. China and ASEAN have implemented the Lantang-Mekong Cooperation Mechanism. Cooperation with Japan and South Korea has been reignited, and China has stepped up its cooperation with South Asia and established strategic partnerships across Central Asia. It's also been a key member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. China is working with other developing countries for common development. It's building relations with Africa based on sincerity, practical results, affinity, and good faith, and is working with Latin America to create a new pattern of bilateral relations. China and the Arab countries are committed to strategic partnerships. And China has also established strategic partnerships with those Pacific Island nations with which it has diplomatic relations.
中国将积极参与全球治理体系建设，努力为完善全球治理贡献中国智慧，同世界各国人民一道，推动国际秩序和全球治理体系朝着更加公正合理方向发展。
Significant changes have been taking place in the global balance of power. In light of the increasing gravity of the problems the world is facing, reform of the system of global governance has become essential. This is a matter that has preoccupied Xi Jinping. He's chaired several CPC Political Bureau study sessions addressing the world's problems that produced an action plan for China's full involvement in global governance. Vision determines the direction, and reflection leads to action. China's active participation in global governance over the past 5 years has been marked by many momentous events. The APEC Economic Leaders Meeting held in Beijing in 2014 boosted cooperation in the Asia-Pacific region. The 2016 G20 summit held beside the Jiantang River in Hangzhou promoted the transformation of the G20 into a permanent governance mechanism. At the World Economic Forum in Davos in 2017, Xi Jinping was widely applauded for his proposal that economic globalization should be open, inclusive, balanced, and beneficial to all. The Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation attracted participants from around the globe. In bringing the countries together to promote their joint development, China made a further contribution to improving global governance. Xi Jinping's busy schedule provides a snapshot of China's diplomatic activity. Over the past 5 years, Xi Jinping has worked actively to guide international governance reform. China played a key role in founding the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and New Development Bank. It established the Silk Road Fund and has worked to ensure that international economic governance becomes fairer and more equitable. Such practical and forward-looking initiatives have made China more influential internationally, so that the world is increasingly turning to China for solutions.
中国人民不信邪也不怕邪，不惹事儿也不怕事儿。任何外国不要指望我们会拿自己的核心利益做交易，不要指望我们会吞下损害我国主权安全、发展利益的苦果。
Protecting China's interests and safeguarding world peace are something that China, as a major country, is set on doing. It's also the mission of the country's diplomatic activities. China has the confidence to assume responsibility for solving major global problems. It has stuck to its principles on the Diaoyu Islands issue and safeguarded its national sovereignty. By rejecting the so-called arbitration on the South China Sea, it has maintained stability in the situation there. China has also ensured that its diplomacy serves the interests of its people by helping Chinese citizens in danger in Yemen, Nepal and South Sudan. The world is not at peace. It needs to work for peace. Xi Jinping made China's commitment to peace clear on September 3, 2015 at the military parade marking victory in the Second World War.
正义必胜，和平必胜，人民必胜。
When it comes to sensitive international and regional issues, China plays a constructive role in encouraging the parties concerned to iron out their differences and achieve peace by dialogue. Through such concrete action, China contributes to world peace, global development, and a sound international order.
这是一项造福沿途各国人民的大事业。
In 2013, Xi Jinping first proposed the Belt and Road Initiative.
这是贸易畅通不断提升的4年。
In the course of 4 years, the Belt and Road Initiative has moved from concept to action, from vision to reality. It has become a global project with the potential to benefit everyone involved. The initiative comes from China, but serves the world. He who remains faithful to his friends is loved. He who cares for the world is respected. As his country's president, Xi Jinping has displayed his personal charm during numerous overseas visits. Wherever President Xi has gone, he's enjoyed a warm welcome. The host countries have received their distinguished Chinese guests with the highest honor and respect.
德国人呢以精准闻名。当习主席抵达机场，步出专机机舱的那一刻，德方的战机呢恰好掠过机场的上空，向习主席致意。那值得一提的是，默克尔总理的丈夫绍尔先生呢，平时呢很少在公众场合露面，但是习主席2次对德国进行国事访问。 绍尔教授呢，都陪同出席有关的活动。
In such ways, other countries demonstrate their respect for China's leader. During a visit by Xi Jinping to Cambodia, his portrait was displayed in the square outside the Royal Palace in Phnom Penh. Xi Jinping is the first foreign head of state to visit the Ministry of Defense in the Russian Federation and the command center of Russia's armed forces. Members of the British royal family accompanied Xi Jinping and his wife to Buckingham Palace in a royal carriage. France broke with protocol by holding a welcoming ceremony for Xi Jinping at Les Invalides.
礼宾是政治的体现，也是国与国关系的晴雨表。各国给予习主席的高规格特殊礼遇，是对中国大国地位的高度认可，和对习主席大国领袖风范的崇高敬佩。 作为中国人，每看到这些场景，从中都能深切感受到我们国家发展昌盛带来的荣耀，对我们国家、对中华民族的荣誉感 和自豪感不禁油然而生。
China's vision is increasingly being shared by the rest of the world. China's major country diplomacy is leading, uniting, and inspiring the world as never before. It is a key mission for Chinese diplomacy to adopt a clear-cut stance in explaining the social system, development path, and values the country has chosen. This is the key to improving its soft power. Over the past 2 years and more, almost 6.5 million copies of Xi Jinping's The Governance of China in 21 languages have been sold in 160 countries and territories. It is one of the most influential books by a world leader in circulation today.
洪森首相当时带了5个副首相，还有将近20位正部长，还有很多的副部长，总共800多人出席这样的一个首发仪式。而且呢，他直接在他的这个脸书上面呢就直播这样的一个首发式的过程。
From east to west, from developing to developed countries, from leaders to the general public, the world has praised Xi Jinping's The Governance of China. At the Borao Forum for Asia in 2015, then French Prime Minister Jean-Pierre Raffarin asked Xi Jinping to sign his copy of The Governance of China.
Qui pour moi est un livre qui met vraiment le cap sur l'innovation, sur le progrès, sur la modernisation.
Martin Albrow is world famous for his research on economic globalization. He keeps a copy of Xi Jinping's The Governance of China on his desk.
President Xi is presenting a much more public image to the rest of the world.
Albrow argues that Xi Jinping, by sharing China's experience, has made an important contribution to the theory of globalization.
I'd just like to read a short passage here. He says, "Today we live in a world with different."
世界人类生活在不同文化、种族、肤色、宗教和不同社会制度所组成的世界里，各国人民形成了你中有我，我中有你的命运共同体。
Party-to-party communication is an important element of China's diplomacy. The CPC, through regular exchanges with 600 political parties and organizations in some 160 countries, shares its experience of governance.
越来越多的政党政要希望了解中国共产党如何领导中国实现快速发展并取得巨大成就的经验，找到破解自身发展难题和全球性挑战的钥匙。
И вопросы, именно касающиеся организации деятельности и законодательных, и исполнительных органов власти Китая, и кадровая работа, это то, чему мы должны учиться.
Y la verdad que he quedado muy impresionado por los avances que ha tenido China, muy impresionado por la forma de gobierno y muy impresionado por la fuerza, la pujanza de este pueblo que está liderando una buena parte del mundo.
Increasingly, the rest of the world is coming to share China's vision of mutually beneficial cooperation achieved by working together for development.
中国发展得益于国际社会，中国也为全球发展做出了贡献。中国将继续奉行互利共赢的开放战略，将自身发展机遇同世界各国分享，欢迎各国搭乘中国发展的顺风车。
From Asia to Europe, from Africa to Oceania and the Americas, wherever the Chinese leader travels, he promotes the Made in China brand. Over the past 5 years, China has contributed around 30% of the world's economic growth. While Chinese creativity is benefiting the world, the country's overseas investment has increased considerably. At the same time, its consumption market has expanded steadily and its cooperation with other countries has deepened. Over the next 5 years, China is expected to import $8 trillion worth of goods and attract $600 billion in foreign investment. Its outbound investment is predicted to total $750 billion, and 700 million overseas trips will be made by Chinese tourists. China's exchanges with other countries at the national and personal levels have generated a succession of win-win stories. More and more Chinese businesses are following the principle of pursuing mutually beneficial cooperation by working hand in hand with foreign partners.
When they grew, they held my hand. Now we're hands together.
E.N. Mwali is a leading Kenyan advertiser. 8 years ago, he was distributing flyers from his backpack in the Nairobi streets when he made the acquaintance of Wang Chung. Wang had been sent to Kenya by Techno Mobile to develop a market for its mobile phones. Before long, the two men became business partners. Today, Techno accounts for 1/3 of Africa's mobile phone market. Mwali's company is now one of the top 10 in Africa's advertising sector. Over the past year, Mwali has spent $800,000 on equipment and materials sourced from Chinese websites. 90% of his company's equipment was made in China.
We have all grown together to a level now. Techno is happier, and I'm also happier. So we can now talk as a win-win situation.
Sharing the secrets of growth and experience to drive one another's development. This is the hallmark of China's effort to promote mutual benefit.
中国将设立南南合作与发展学院。
Within a year, the South-South Cooperation and Development Academy had its first group of students. Coming from 27 countries, they travelled to China to discover the secrets behind its development.
China is talking about China is not successful. How come come here?
在1年当中，他们学习都非常的认真。 非常想去了解中国的成功能给他们国家带来哪些启发。
Crossing the river, already it's a proverb, by touching the stones. That's something that every professor during the first semester was telling us at every lecture.
Before it's implemented in a full scale, it's implemented as an experimental level. That's a very useful experience.
Xi Jinping, in leading China's diplomatic activities, is setting an example in promoting people-to-people exchange and cooperation.
中方将为非洲1万个村落实施收看卫星电视项目。
Yombo is a village in Tanzania and home to Semeni Mgeni and her family. Being extremely poor, they could only dream of watching television at home. Today, their dream has come true. A Chinese company has connected their home to a digital TV network. For less than $5 a month, they can access more than 20 domestic and international channels.
Kujua nchi, kujua wenzetu huko maisha yao jinsi wanavyoishi. Kama kuna mazingira yoyote tofauti na ya kwetu, inabidi sisi tunayaona. Ndo shida yangu kubwa ya kuijua.
Through TV, African viewers can see the world and how China is increasingly being integrated into the international community.
中国电视剧《媳妇的美好时代》在 坦桑尼亚热播。这也使坦桑尼亚观众了解到中国老百姓家庭生活的酸甜苦辣。
Hata ukiweka miadi kwa simu, lakini Beisho amenisaidia. I didn't mean to. You forgot to take my resume.
Films and TV plays offer foreign audiences an insight into the real China. Copies of them are often presented as a gift by China's leader.
I am Suzy.
这是我们中国的一些电影电视片送给孩子们。
de películas chinas traducidas al español.
一些光盘
discos
翻译成西班牙文
traducidos al español.
Muchas gracias. 我们可以看一看，了解了解中国的。下一次见到你呢，希望我们能用中文来交流。
La próxima vez debemos hablar chino con este chico ya.
Con él, yo paso. Vos tenés que aprender chino.
Chinese culture, with its emphasis on peace and harmony, is gaining in popularity worldwide. It's also a source of strength for Chinese diplomacy. China's exchanges with other countries are underpinned by people-to-people contacts. Xi Jinping, as a passionate devotee of Chinese culture, is its international spokesman.
当代的中国活力四射，有时候超出我们的理解。
我作为国家主席，有一些老前辈就跟我讲，是吧？这个作为中国的领导人要干什么呢？就是不要把中国5000年的文明文化搞丢了，还应该在你们手里传承下去。有一些这个国家的一些这个政治家们滔滔不绝，我就问了一句话，我说：“请问你去过中国几次？”当时说很遗憾，我一次也没去过。我说：“请问你还去过亚洲的什么国家？”很遗憾，我现在亚洲都没有到过。我说我非常佩服你的这种自信心。我对于我没有去过的地方，我是不敢发表意见，因为我不了解它。由于呢难以简单的概括中国，这也正是中国文化的魅力所在。
China has established many platforms for exchanges with foreign sinologists. Since 2013, through the Symposium on China Studies and a Further Studies program, more than 300 young sinologists have visited China and gained a deeper understanding of the country today. Dutchwoman Manja Koits is one of them.
现在痕学家越来越多，因为我觉得世界上每一个国家的人现在都明白中国在世界的角色越来越重要。
To help more people better understand China, Koits founded www.whatsonweibo.com. The website, devoted to hot topics in China, has an average monthly hit rate of over 200,000.
我真的希望我可以成为一个给西方人了解中国文化的窗口。
A China fever is spreading, and it's ignoring borders.
开设中国馆，目的
In Peru, projects such as the China Center and Experience China are bringing Chinese culture to millions of people. Worldwide, programs such as All for the Chinese New Year are making Chinese New Year a major global celebration. They provide a window for the world to better understand and develop a love for Chinese culture.
Xin Nian Kuai Le.
Xin Nian Kuai Le.
Xin Nian Kuai Le.
Gong Xi Fa Chai.
今年大吉。
文明因交流而多彩，文明因互鉴而丰富。文明交流互鉴是推动人类文明进步和世界和平发展的重要的动力。
Since the 18th Party Congress in 2012, The CPC Central Committee, with Xi Jinping as the core, has placed ordinary people above all other considerations. China, in its diplomatic activities, abides by the principle that everything is for people and everything is achieved by relying on people. People-to-people exchanges are the cornerstone on which China's relations with other countries are being built. From the children's paradise of Chef Shawen to romantic Casablanca, from the Red City to Marrakesh and the 1,000-year-old city of Fez. This is Morocco in North Africa. This is a country that rarely granted visas to Chinese visitors in the past, but where today, tourists from China are a common sight. People may be surprised to learn that such an exchange can be attributed to the diplomatic efforts of China's leader. On May the 11th, 2016, the Moroccan king visited China at the invitation of President Xi Jinping.
福建的泉州市，在14世纪的时候是中国交往的一个先驱。那里呢是贵国大旅行家一本白图泰在中国的第一站。
Ibn Battuta was a famous traveller in the Middle Ages whose journeys took him across the globe. In his travel notes, he described China as a mysterious oriental country. The meeting between President Xi and King Mohammed led to the signing of a dozen bilateral cooperation agreements, including one on facilitating visa applications and promoting tourism cooperation. Over the past 5 years, Xi Jinping has visited many parts of the world. He often remarks that his visits, though often carried out amid great splendour, generate very practical benefits.
Madam Speaker, Mr. President, this is a historic and memorable day. This President of China, in fact, is more widely travelled in our own country than most Australians.
这是我第5次踏上这片古老而又充满活力的澳洲大陆。明天我将去塔斯马尼亚州，这样我将走遍澳大利亚所有的州。我对澳大利亚的认知啊，就可以更加的丰富全面。不知道有没有发一个证书给我？
Xi Jinping follows a tight schedule on all his foreign trips. Even so, he makes time to see more places, meet more people, and participate in more activities.
他确实经常吃不上饭，有一次完全没有时间吃晚饭。主席的这个警卫员嘛，趁着从一场双边到另一场双边，就塞了一盒这个饼干给我，说你待会儿到车上让主席吃几块，是点吧一下，别太饿着了。
Xi Jinping is committed to facilitating exchanges between people from China and overseas.
2013年以来，习总书记就这个问题亲自做外国领导人工作，达96次，取得了很好的效果。应该说，大大便利了中国公民走出国门。
It's now easier than ever before for Chinese people to travel overseas. By July 2017, China had concluded agreements with 131 countries on mutual visa-free travel. Ordinary Chinese passport holders are now entitled to enter 64 countries and territories without a visa or by securing a visa on arrival. With their Chinese passport, the country's citizens can travel around the world and return home safely. In Italy, a 24-hour hotline gives tourists access to Chinese police assistance. Chinese and Italian police officers conduct joint patrols at Italian tourist attractions. Chinese citizens abroad always feel that their country is never far away. In early 2015, the security situation in Yemen deteriorated dramatically. As fighting spread rapidly, more than 600 Chinese citizens were left stranded. They needed to be evacuated without delay. Xi Jinping ordered a Chinese naval escort fleet to help bring the Chinese citizens back home. This was the first time China had used its warships for evacuating civilians. On March the 26th, 2015, the operation began. 3 Chinese warships approached the port of Aden. On March the 29th, the first group of 122 stranded Chinese citizens arrived at Aden and set eyes on the Chinese warship sent to bring them home.
当时就觉得，我们真的是回家，确实是有希望。
On the same day, the first group of Chinese evacuees arrived in Djibouti. They were immediately transferred to Ethiopia and onto a flight to Beijing. Within 9 days, all 629 stranded Chinese citizens were brought safely back home. An estimated 16,000 foreign nationals were stranded in Yemen during the crisis. 38 countries and territories appealed to the international community for help in saving their citizens. Chinese warships evacuated 279 foreign nationals. They came from 15 countries, including Pakistan, India, Ethiopia, Egypt, Singapore, Italy, the UK, and Belgium. Like members of the same family, people from different countries rallied round to help one another.
Thank you, China, for all what you have done. We'll never ever forget it. I'm sure I'm expressing the feelings of everybody here.
China's efforts in the Yemen evacuation were widely praised internationally. Over the past 5 years, China has successfully organized the evacuation of its citizens abroad on 9 separate occasions. It has dealt with more than 100 kidnaps of or attacks on its citizens abroad and handled 300,000 requests for consular protection and assistance. Chinese people derive pride and confidence from the knowledge that they belong to a major country that pursues diplomacy in the interests of ordinary people.
Chinese 人历来主张世界大同，天下一家。中国人民不仅希望自己过得好，也希望各国人民过得好。
The world can do better only when China does well. China will continue to help maintain international stability and to contribute to worldwide economic growth. It will work to generate positive energy in favor of peaceful development and to become a new force in global governance.
在以习近平同志为核心的党中央坚强领导下，5年来，中国外交开拓进取，砥砺前行，成功地走出了一条中国特色大国外交之路。中国正在以一种与传统大国不同的方式，更加自信、更加开放地走进世界舞台中心，在为自身发展营造有利外部环境的同时，也在为世界的和平与发展、人类的繁荣与进步做出越来越重要的贡献。
China, at a new starting point, is determined and able to realize the goal of great national rejuvenation. It is also committed to working with other countries in creating a prosperous and bright future. To work for the good of people everywhere is a just cause.
我们的祖国是一个负责任、敢担当的大国。
大家加油，一齊努力。中國真棒。
China，你好。中国。
中国。
中国。
中國。
国家。